freedom is not going to feel comfortable in the door. Freedom is uncomfortable. Freedom is not land. It's not money. It is not a house. It is not clothes. It is not people. Well, what is it? Let somebody help me out. What is it? If it's not money, clothes, a house, or people, or land, or guns, what is it? That's a start. Good start. A state of being, a state of mind, like the sister so eloquently put it. Where you tap into the ability within yourself to sustain something that liberates you from those that will seek to imprison you and limit you. Do y'all hear me? Because freedom, you don't need freedom if no one's trying to get it. Do you? What is freedom if it's not somebody trying to take your time, labor, energy, and resources? You don't need freedom if there's no enemy out there. If there's no enslaver, there's no freedom. They're what? They're relative. So freedom must be your ability to maintain something that separates you from those that will what? Take your time, energy, and resources. Exploit your time, energy, and resources. That's practical. That's practical. Anybody with any other definition of freedom, you're smoking your weed. I'm gonna keep it real. We want freedom, but we want to love everybody. Do you love the person that wants to take your freedom from you? So the whole idea of freedom doesn't love everybody, because it doesn't love the enslaver. If it did, then it would need to be free, would it? So freedom is your ability to sustain something, to sustain a space, an attitude, a mentality, a composure, a persona, a position where you cannot be taken into captive by that which does not honor your freedom. Wow, that sounds like security to me. But when you start talking about sustaining, now you're talking about consistency, diligence, determination. Now you're talking about daily operation. Because if you're sustaining something, then there must be a daily operation to sustain it, to maintain it. But for some, freedom means not doing nothing. Not doing nothing about maintaining your freedom. We don't understand what freedom is. Our idea of freedom has shot our minds out into space. Look at a slave on a ship. They want freedom. Just visualize yourself, and this is going to be a challenge for some people, as a slave on the bottom of the boat. You shackled up in the bottom of the slave ship, the good ship Jesus. The good ship Jesus Christ. You in the bottom of it. Shackled up. You say, I want freedom. Person say to you, well, you need to love everybody. In the bottom of a ship, if your idea of freedom does not work for your freedom in the bottom of a slave ship, it does not work now. Do you hear me? If it would not help you get closer towards freedom in the bottom of a slave ship, it won't help you get free now. We think the definition of freedom has changed because of different geopolitical and social political circumstances. We think it's changed. Freedom now means having a black president, or freedom has become a political thing. It's not a real thing for us. If you're in the bottom of a boat, it's real. If you're a runaway slave, it's real. Imagine a runaway slave being on the run, and one of the slaves with him said, we need to stop and love everybody. Why are we running? We just need to love master, everybody. You gonna leave that nigga. If you're a real runaway, he gonna see the bottom of your shoe. Or the bottom of your bare feet. They gonna say love everybody. That's some of our relatives and our family members right now. Love everybody. If you're a runaway slave. So freedom, you gotta understand this. It's just as practical now as it was in the bottom of the slave ship. But our perspective have been obscured when we don't see the grassroots reality of it. We don't see it. It has become a more sophisticated presentation. Same situation with a more sophisticated presentation. If you can't drive down the street and you get pulled over, your freedom is gone. You're in the bottom of a slave ship. Call jail, call prison, because you don't have insurance, you don't have this. Because someone cannot exploit and take your time and energy from you in exchange for green pieces of paper with dead Europeans' faces on it. You are being enslaved because of that. When you were driving down the street and pulled over, same situation, same circumstance. So in order for us to maintain freedom, to expand freedom, because we say we want our own land, we want our own community, but you know what? That's nothing but the expansion of freedom. Because the only reason we haven't had our own community is because we have not had the freedom to do so. We have not took advantage of the freedom to do so. We have only took advantage of being a slave, getting the benefits of that. If we take advantage of freedom, then we will have a larger community. We will have a larger nation. We won't take advantage of that. Because that's going to take a sustenance. We're going to have to sustain it. Not just with ideology, but with a consistent way of doing and going about things. We never hear black nationalists talk about that. They talk about come down to the meeting and we need your support and come down on Tuesday. They're never talking about a consistent way of being to maintain something. Why is the white man in power? Because he's in a consistent position to maintain something. Am I correct? He's consistently doing it to consistently maintain it. What are we doing? We're arguing about freedom. We have idealized freedom. It does not come with consistent action. It does not come with a consistent focus. And if it's not coming with that, I can only begin to believe that we really don't even want it. If you want a garden, you must consistently go out and what? Plant seeds. You must turn over the soil. You must water it consistently. If you don't do that, you will not have a garden. You can read all the garden books you want and debate different type of botanists, different type of agricultural ideas, right? But until you are consistently able to maintain that garden, you will not have one. Until we can consistently get into maintaining the garden of black supremacy through our work ethic, it's going to happen. I'm telling you that we can create it, but only if we want it. But we're going to have to be consistent. And we're going to have to go with where it is being created and consistently give ourselves our time, energy, and labor and resources to where it's being created, to expand how it is going to be created. How do we put our energy into that consistently and wholeheartedly in order to push that forward to reach the bigger objective?